God wants you to be single. If you look at the dating market in 2025, as a Christian especially, it is cooked. Women are more promiscuous than ever, okay? Men are more lazy, no purpose, just watching porn, eating all day, just feeding the dopamine, just doing whatever they want. There's no discipline, there's no motivation, there's no drive for anything. And guess what? When women see that, they don't want any part of that. And that's why women are being hyper independent. There's women out there that are being independent and doing their own thing is because they haven't found a man that's stable and that's grounded and that's pursuing something more than just money. So in my opinion, it starts with the men. They start building themselves up. And the two things I'm going to touch on today is how you can build yourself up as a man or a woman in God. And second, how you can detect the ungodly woman. All right, before I get into those 2 points, I want to point out this verse in the Bible, okay? It's in 1 Corinthians 7. I'm going to start with verse 7 and I'm going to read verse 7 and 8. And this is what it says. For I wish that all men were even as myself. This is Paul speaking, by the way. But each one has his own gift from God, one in this manner and another in that. But I say to the unmarried and to the widows, it is good for them if they remain even as I am. And in the Bible, it never says that Paul, if he ever got married or if he ever, got a wife. But when he was doing his ministry work, it was very clear that he was single. In the verses 7 and 8, it tells us it's a gift to be single, okay? It's a good thing. Most people don't like being single, okay? I have multiple friends. They're basically always in a relationship. They hop through relationship to relationship, and they never want to be single. You probably have people out there in your friend groups that don't want to be single. I'm here to tell you that is a scary thing, because if you're depending on somebody else for your happiness and for your purpose, that is a dangerous place. And when your purpose is on your wife or your husband or your girlfriend, boyfriend, you're putting so much pressure on them. And that's why they keep hopping relationships, because the person feels that pressure and like, oh, I don't want to be the center of attention 24/7. So guess what? They break up with them and they wonder why. Because you put the pressure on them. You're trying to seek this relationship instead of seeking God and Jesus for your relationship. Because that should be your first and most important relationship. Before you even try to start dating and going out there, focus on yourself, okay? Take years, okay? I don't care who you are. If right now, if you're single, if you have a girlfriend, or even if you're married to somebody, make sure your relationship with God is the most important. When you wake up and when you go to bed, it's a great thing to be single, okay? I've been single for about at least 4 years now, okay? And honestly, it's been great. I can't even lie, because I figured out who I am in God. I took time and be like, God, analyze me. What do you want me to be? And he's blessed me so much. And the reason why I'm harping on being single, people might be like, oh, being married is a gift. Yes, it is a gift, but it's also a gift to be single. Because if you don't know your purpose for your life, okay, and you hop in a marriage, guess what? At one point, your focus is going to be on your wife and solely on your wife. And you're going to put a lot of pressure on her or him. You have to know who you are in God, okay? If you don't know the gifts you have, okay, you don't know your purpose for this life, what you can do to better this kingdom, you need to be single. And how can you find your purpose in God? Right here. Open the Bible, okay? Go pray about it every night and be like, God, how can I benefit your kingdom? God, what gifts do you have in store for me? And at first you may not know it. At first you may not understand what gifts you have from God. But at one point you will know yourself and who you are in God. And when you do, you can start going out there, start having dates, find your purpose. The second reason why you need to be single and why it benefits you is if you saw your dream girl, okay, think of your dream girl, okay, what she looks like, or guy too. This goes guy or girl, okay, think of your dream guy or girl. Think about what he or she would look like, what things you prefer about them, what the personality is, what kind of traits they have as a person. Just think about those for a second, okay? And let's say you stumble across them, okay, in person. How are you going to act? Are you going to fumble and be like, you don't know how to act around them? You start fumbling your words. You have to make sure you're ready. Okay, stop focusing on the other person so much. Okay, and focus on yourself and what you provide as a person. Because in this generation, people are so selfish, okay? And they just focus on themselves. Oh, what can this woman or guy do for me? Okay, does he make 6 figures? Okay, is he this? Is he that? No, stop being so selfish and analyze yourself and what you provide. There's probably something that you don't provide in a relationship, okay? You may be useless. And when most people get in a relationship, they put that relationship number one, even above God. They may not analyze it or understand they do that, but you do. You idolize things in life, okay? And a lot of people idolize women. Men idolize women in this generation because in this generation, there's so much lust, so much sexual immorality, so much adultery, fornication. It is so common in this generation and it's so normalized. Even people, when I tell them I'm a virgin, okay, they're like, whoa, they're like, oh, it's okay, bro. I'm like, I know it's okay. Okay, that's the goal. I don't want to be sleeping around, okay? I know it's okay. That's how it should be. You should be shaming people for not being virgins, for being whores out there and just go sleeping around. That shouldn't be normalized, okay? That should be shamed upon. Back then, women used to get shamed. I'm not saying it's fine to shame people, okay? I'm not saying it's fine, but you can't be promoting people, oh wow, this guy slept with 30 girls. Oh my God, he's a stud, okay? You know how much trauma he just built up with himself? You know how much it's gonna take for him to redo that damage, okay? Because when men sleep with a lot of women, okay, it's promoted as cool. I understand why that is, but you are damaging yourself emotionally. Because when women sleep around with a lot of men, guess what? They become emotionally unstable. But when men do it, they become emotionally numb. They don't feel anything at all. Just that nut they bust. The goal in life, even if you're not a virgin, even if you have a past, that's okay. God's forgiven you. You know that. But the only thing you control is now. And start being celibate. So I hope you got my second point. Focus on yourself. Stop focusing on what you want. Instead, focus on who you need to become in the Lord. Okay, now I'm going to talk about how you can detect an ungodly woman or man. And where we're going to flip to, we're going to go to Proverbs 5, starting with verse 3. For the lips of an immoral woman drips honey, and her mouth is smoother than oil. But in the end, she is bitter as wormwood, which is basically poison, sharp as a two-edged sword. Her feet go down to death. Her ways lay hold of hell. Those are strong words Solomon's using right there. And that's what lust does to you. You already know, 1 Corinthians 6:18, it talks about that. You gotta flee from sexual immorality because it overtakes you, okay? It doesn't just affect you a little bit, okay? It takes your whole body, and you're sinning against your own body, which is one of the only sins that does that. And that can be little just to masturbation, or it can be all the way up to adultery and fornication and all that. All right, verse 6. Lest you ponder her path of life, her ways are unstable. You do not know them. Therefore, hear me now, my children, and do not depart from the words of my mouth. Remove your way far from her, and do not go near the door of her house. Right there, flee, because a woman will overtake you, okay? And women don't understand how much power they have when they're out there dressing like sluts and just being promiscuous. That has a lot of power. And when it comes to sex, women hold that power, okay? They let a man hit. A man doesn't have that power. They have to ask. They have to convince themselves. They have to have some game to get her to sleep with them. But women have the access. And when women give it up so easily, that's when men fall because they can't resist. And I can't resist, okay? That's why we gotta flee. So I hope you got the message right there. How do you detect an ungodly woman? You can let her speak. You can look at her. She can be beautiful. She can be, looks like she could be a virgin. She's just how pure and innocent she looks, okay? But see her actions, okay? She may speak a good game as well. Same thing with the man. They may speak well. They may sound good on paper. But when you see their actions, and you see what they do day to day, you know if they're poison or if they're godly. In the way I eliminate women, okay? They look beautiful, okay? But I try not to look at their looks as much. I try to not fantasize about stuff like that. I just listen to them talk. And usually when I do that, I at least eliminate 80% of women if I just hear them speak and see what their values are, okay? And I see how they live their life. And that's what you need to do, okay? Stop looking at her. Okay, yeah, she's beautiful. Guess what? There's a whole bunch of women that are beautiful out there, okay? That meet your standards, looks-wise anyways. But analyze their spirit, okay? See what they bring to the table. See if they're a God-fearing woman. See if they can be submissive. If they can't, obviously no. That's not of God. See how she treats other people. See how she treats strangers. But the most important thing is she changing her ways, okay? Because no matter what, we're all imperfect. Men or women, we're all imperfect. We all struggle with things, okay? But how you can determine if a man or woman of God is pure and is trying to live holy, they are trying to change their ways, okay? Pursuing God daily. Change is the most important thing you see in people. Because if the person isn't changing, they don't want to change their ways. They just want to keep doing their own thing. Forget about it. Don't even try to pursue it because it's going to lead you straight to hell. And I also hear this a lot. A man or woman, they try to change the other person, okay? So if it's a man trying to change a woman, You know, because a woman may not pursuing God, but the woman finds a guy attractive, and he probably thinks, oh, she likes me, I can change her. But guess what? You can't. The only person that has the power to change someone's heart and their actions is Jesus Christ. And the reason why you don't pursue an ungodly woman is because you can give her the world, you can love on her, you can respect her, you can give her the world. But guess what? She's gonna find a way to cheat because she's not feeling something. Because that's how women are, they're emotional. And if they don't feel anything in a relationship, at one moment, boom, they're gone. They're gonna go sleep with somebody else because they wanna go feel something. They just wanna satisfy their flesh, and that's all. As soon as you're not satisfying them, they're gonna be gone. But a godly woman, she would wanna be with you to the end, okay? Because that's what God tells us to do when we're in a marriage. You fight for that marriage. And most people, when it comes to relationships, they don't fight. They find one conflict, and guess what? They're gonna go out and cheat. That's why you don't pursue ungodly women and ungodly men. I hope you guys got something from this. Be single, analyze yourself, find out what you are in God, okay? Find out what you like, what you don't like, and analyze who you are as a person. Because if you don't know who you are, how can you take care of somebody else? I know it's been a while since I posted, okay? I'm gonna at least try to do once a month. I know I said once a week last video, but I'm gonna keep it realistic. So if you guys did get something from this, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.